Another session tayo, class, no, ng review of intermediate accounting topics, and ang topic natin today ay inventories. Reviewin natin ang definition of inventories. Inventories are assets that are held for sale in the normal course of business. So, ito yung paninda, o ba sa madaling salita, no? Ito yung paninda ng iyong negosyo. Paninda in the normal course of business, paninda in the normal revenue producing activities ng iyong business. Okay? Kung ang business ay merchandising business, ito yung tinatawag nating merchandise inventory. Okay? Kung ang business ay manufacturing company or manufacturing business, tawag natin dito, class, ay finished goods. No? Okay? Number two, definition, inventories are assets that are in the process of production for such sale. So, ito naman yung tinatawag natin na work in process sa business na engaged in manufacturing operations. No, work in process or goods in process, no, sa mga manufacturing entities. Okay? Number three, inventories are assets that are in the form of materials or supplies to be consumed in the production process or in rendering of services. Okay? Kaya kahit service entity yan, class, meron pa rin yang inventory. Okay? And ito naman yung tinatawag natin na raw materials or direct materials and production supplies or factory supplies sa mga entities na engage in manufacturing business. Okay? Manufacturing business. Okay, so to explain the definition of inventories, to explain further the definition of inventories, magbakita tayo dito ng tatlong company. We have Pure Gold being a merchandising business. Okay, Pure Gold. Pakita rin natin si Century Tuna, one of the products ng Century Foods Incorporated. No? Ang Century Foods Incorporated ang nagmamanufacture ng Century Tuna. Kaya lagay natin dito, manufacturing. Okay? And yung pangatlong company natin, si Jollibee Foods Corporation or Jollibee in short. Okay? Jollibee, so siya yung ilagay natin sa service. Okay? Service. Generally speaking kasi, class, no, kapag ang company ay engaged in food, no, kagaya ng Jollibee, generally speaking, they are a service company. So, ang serbisyo nila is to fulfill or to satisfy our hunger and craving sa pagkain. Kaya by default, no, generally speaking, service company si Jollibee. Okay? So, definition under number one. So, syempre, being a merchandising business, present yan kay Pure Gold. Yan yung merchandise inventory, sabi natin kanina. No? Kay Century Foods Incorporated, present din yan. Yan yung tinatawag nating finished goods. No? However, kay Jollibee, no, hindi present yung definition number one ng inventory kasi siya ay service entity. Okay? Wala siyang held for sale. No? Yan. Number two, in the process of production for such sale, obviously, kay merchandise entity, Pure Gold, hindi yan present. Kasi lahat ng merchandise inventory is already finished goods. No, finished goods. Walang work in process ang merchandising entity. However, kay Century Foods Incorporated, present yan. Kasi nga, manufacturing entity, yan yung work in process. Okay? And kay service, no, syempre wala din yan. No? Wala namang work in process si service entity. And number three, so yung number three, again, ito yung tinatawag nating raw materials or direct materials and production supplies or factory supplies. No? And present yan, syempre, kay manufacturing entity, Century Foods Incorporated. And present din yan kay service entity. Kailangan niya ng materials and supplies to render its services to the customers. Okay, so I hope clear sa definition ng inventories. Tutungo tayo sa initial measurement. Initial measurement ng inventories at cost. Ang initial measurement ng inventory ay cost. So alamin natin ang breakdown ng cost. Ang breakdown ng cost class, we have purchase cost. So includes purchase price, import duties, kapag ang product ay imported, that is galing sa ibang country. Okay? And non-refundable purchase taxes, and it must be net of trade discounts and other rebates. Okay? So, pakita ulit natin yung tatlong company, Pure Gold Merchandising, Century Foods Incorporated Manufacturing, and Jollibee Service Company. So, yung purchase cost class ay na-observe sa tatlong entity na yan. Okay, na-observe yan sa kanilang tatlo. Another composition ng cost ay yung tinatawag nating direct labor and factory overhead cost. Okay, kasama rin yan class no, tinatawag nating conversion cost. Yung aggregate ng direct labor cost and factory overhead cost. Conversion. Conversion. Siyempre, it pertains to manufacturing entities. No, yung mayroong mga work in process. No? Includes direct labor and factory overhead. Okay? Kaya yung checkbox natin dyan, class, na kay Century Foods Incorporated, and meron ding checkbox para kay service entity. Dahil kailangan ni Jollibee, no? Kailangan ni service company ng direct labor cost and factory overhead cost para ma-perform yung service to the customers. Okay? Yan. Next, number 3, we have direct attributable cost na present sa kanilang tatlo. No, present sa kanilang tatlo. So, bigyan natin ng emphasis class yung direct attributable cost. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin nito? No? Other costs needed in bringing the inventories to their present location and condition. Okay? Gawa lang tayo ng simpleng timeline class. No? Okay, gawa tayo ng simpleng timeline. Yan. This is the date of purchase. Yan, date of purchase ng inventory. And this is the date of receipt ng inventory. No? Accordingly, lahat ng cost na na-incur mo on that timeline para makarating yung inventory to its present location and intended condition, dapat i-capitalize as inventory cost. Yun yung tinatawag na mga direct attributable cost. Kumbaga, lahat ng cost na na-incur mo to get the inventory ready for sale or use, dapat siyang i-capitalize as cost ng inventory. Okay? So lahat, no? Lahat ng ginastos mo para makarating yung inventory on its present or intended location and condition. Kaya yung examples natin dito, class, we have freight and handling charges, insurance, design cost for a specific product order, and yung storage cost of work in process inventories. Okay? And ito naman, class, yung mga costs that are not directly attributable costs. Number one, abnormal amounts of wasted materials, labor, and other production costs. So, pag abnormal kasi class yung amount, no, sa accounting, usually, ano yan eh, di naman yan kinakapitalize as cost ng asset kapag abnormal yung amounts. Selling cost, administrative cost, and number 4, storage cost ng finished goods. ang storage cost ng finished goods ay hindi na siya capitalizable as cost ng inventory. Dahil ang finished goods, being a finished good, it is already in its present location and intended condition. Dahil nga finished good na siya. Okay, kaya any storage cost ay hindi na capitalizable as cost. Ang capitalizable lang class ay yung storage cost of work-in-process inventories. Dahil kailangan ng storage cost sa work-in-process para maging finished good yung inventory. Para madala yung inventory or mabring in the inventory to its present location and intended condition. Okay, so I hope clear sa direct attributable cost. No, tutungo na tayo sa next part ng ating discussion, goods includable in the inventory. Okay, goods includable in the inventory. Accordingly, class, no, lahat ng inventory na pag-aari natin dapat maisama sa inventory, no? Nasa atin ang pagmamay-ari at control. At paano ba natin malalaman na ang inventory ay tayo ang nagmamay-ari at nasa atin ang control? Okay? As a rule, all goods, no, to which the entity has the title, nasa atin dapat ang title, shall be included in the inventory regardless of location. So, hindi nagmamatter class if the inventory is in the hands of the entity regardless of the location, kahit nasan man yung lugar dito sa Pilipinas or mundo, basta nasa atin ang title, still includable yan in the cost of inventory. Okay? Kaya by applying the legal test, the following items are includable in inventory. So number one, we have goods owned and on hand. So basically, ito yung mga inventories na in the physical possession ng company. No? Ito yung mga nasa company na mismo or yung nasa warehouse ng mga company, ng company. No? Okay. Includable din plus ang goods in transit and sold FOB destination. I hope tandaan nyo pa yung accounting for merchandising business nyo, no? Na kapag kayo ang seller at ang shipping term ay FOB destination, ang goods in transit, si seller ang nagmamay-ari. Okay? Kaya kasama sa legal test, no, or kasama rather sa items included in the inventory, yung goods in transit and sold FOB destination. Okay? Kasama rin class, no, sa inventory yung goods in transit and acquired FOB shipping point. Okay, so I hope tandaan nyo pa yung shipping, yung FOB shipping point, FOB destination, no? Okay. Siyempre, pag FOB shipping point at ikaw yung buyer, tapos yung goods na binili mo ay in transit pa, ang nagmamay-ari na ng goods in transit ay ikaw being a buyer. Okay? Number four, goods out on consignment. Okay? Goods out on consignment. So, ano ba yung consignment? Under a consignment, an entity called the consignor delivers goods to another party na tinatawag nating consignee, who the consignee undertakes to sell the goods to end customers on behalf of the consignor. So sa madaling salita, class, no? Sa madaling salita, kumbaga, pag may consignment agreement, ikaw being a consignor, pinapabenta mo lang yung inventory mo to another party or the consignee. Kumbaga, ipinapadala mo lang, itinatransfer mo lang yung paninda mo to consignee. And si consignee na ang magbebenta on your behalf. Okay, so ganun lang yung consignment. Pinapabenta mo lang sa consignee mo yung mga inventory. Okay? Kaya yung mga goods Out on consignment, inventory yan ni consignor. Yung nagpadala ng goods to the consignee. Okay? And si consignee, bebenta niya yung goods na pinadala mo, pinadala ni consignor on your behalf. Ayan. Okay? So, number five. Ano yung number five natin? Goods in the hands of salesmen or agents. So, ang magandang example nito, class, no, yung mga nakikita niyong automobile sa mga malls. So, yun yung example ng mga goods on hand, in the hands of salesmen or agents. Okay. Number six, goods held by customers on approval or trial. So, ang example naman natin dito, class, no, yung mga business na engage in clothing. No? So, meron kasing mga arrangements dyan, particularly yung mga malalaking clothing entity, no? Pinapadala nila sa customers nila yung mga clothes, no? Yung mga attire for trial or for approval. So, kung approved, no, ibebenta na yon, no? Diretso benta na yon sa end customers. Otherwise, kung hindi approved ng customers, the customer should return the clothes dun sa entity. Okay, so yan yung example, no, ng goods held by customers on approval or on trial. Okay? So ayan, I hope class kahit pa paano na refresh, no, yung goods includable in the inventory, particularly yung legal test, no, kasi usually yung mga problems, no, sa inventory ay nagsisimula dito sa legal test. No? Kaya yung susunod natin na slide ay problem solving involving legal test. Problem solving na tayo. No? Legal test, compute the correct amount of inventory. Amazon Lily company provided the following information. So, titingnan natin class sa mga items na to kung ano yung included, no, and excluded sa inventory. Okay? Yan. So, first item, materials. Materials, 1.4 million. 1.4 million. So, syempre, yung materials, included yan in inventory. So, materials. Okay. Next item, advance for materials ordered, 200,000. Yan. Ibig sabihin, class, no, si Amazon Lily nagbayad ng 200,000 pesos in advance. Okay, for the materials to be delivered in future time. Okay, kaya itong 200,000 na to excluded kasi wala pa namang dumarating na materials. Advances pa lang siya for the materials ordered. No? Ang accounting treatment natin dito, class, ay receivable. Kasi may receivable tayo in the form of materials kung sino man yung supplier ng materials na yan. Okay, so receivable siya. No, debit, advances, no, credit, cash in bank, 200,000. Tapos yung advances, receivable in the form of materials. Okay, kaya excluded siya sa inventory. Okay, so work in process, yan, wala nang kailangan pag-usapan dito, included. Included yan. Okay. Unexpired insurance on inventories. Ayan. Yung mga inventories, ayan, may insurance, no? Excluded, no? Hindi yan capitalizable as cost or hindi yan included in the inventory account. Ang accounting treatment natin dyan, class, no, ay prepaid expense, no? Prepaid insurance. Shipping cartons, 150,000 pesos. Shipping cartons. So basically, when we say shipping cartons, no, ito lang yung packaging ng product na ibebenta natin sa customers. No, yung packaging ng product na ibebenta sa customers. Shipping cartons. And yung 150,000 Excluded yan, class, no? Hindi yan kasama sa inventory, no? Yung shipping cartons, no? Okay, kasi yung shipping cartons, class, no? Typically use lang naman yung mga cartons na yan to deliver finished goods to customers. And hindi yan totally part ng production process or the conversion process ng produkto, no? Ang accounting treatment natin dyan sa shipping cartons, no? Selling expenses. Hindi yan part ng inventory. Okay? So, finished goods in warehouse, wala na dapat i-elaborate dito, included. No? Finished goods in company retail store. Okay? Siyempre, included yan, class. No? Included yung finished goods in company retail store. However, kanina pinag-usapan natin, no, ang initial measurement ng inventory at cost yan. Pero nakalagay kasi dito, the 750,000 pesos is inclusive of 50% profit on cost. Therefore, hindi agad natin pwedeng i-include yung entire 750,000 dahil yung 750,000 hindi yan yung cost ng inventory. Okay? Accordingly, kailangan nating i-compute yung cost ng inventory. Dito na lang natin i-compute, no? Selling price minus cost equals profit. The profit daw, class, is 50% ng cost. 50% ng cost. Therefore, class, yung 100% natin ay si cost dahil siya yung basis. Okay? Yan. Selling price minus cost equals profit. Therefore, ano yung rate na ilalagay natin dito na pag binaynos natin yung 100, ang sagot 50%. Okay? Siyempre, ilalagay natin dyan 150%. 150% minus 100 equals 50. So, no, yung 750,000 class ay selling price kasi inclusive of profit. Okay? Now, paano natin mako-compute yung cost? O, ganito na lang ang gawin natin dyan. 750,000 divided by 150%. Pag nakuha or pag pinag-divide natin yan, no, yung sagot dyan, yan yung cost ng inventory. Okay? 500. And syempre, yung profit, pag subtract na lang natin, 250,000. Therefore, class, no, dun sa ginawa nating computation, ang amount lang na isasama natin for that item ay 500,000 and not the 750,000 pesos. Okay, so I hope maliwanag, class, ha. Buburahin ko na yung mga nakasulat, no? 500,000 yung amount na isasama natin and not 750,000 pesos. Okay, so finished goods in the hands of consignees. Okay, this time 40% of sales yung nakapaloob. No, 40% profit on sales. So alam natin na yan ay included but hindi natin pwedeng i-include yung entire 400,000. So magko-compute ulit tayo, no? Selling price minus cost equals profit. The profit daw ay 40%, no? 40% of sales. Dahil sales yung basis, therefore, sales yung 100%. Okay, I hope maliwanag ka kung nasaan yung, kung sino yung basis. Syempre, siya yung 100%. Ha? Kaya sa sales tayo or sa sales price tayo, naglagay ng 100%. Sales price minus cost equals profit. Therefore, this is 60%. Okay? The amount 400,000 is inclusive of profit based on sales. Therefore, 400,000, no, yung selling price. Now, paano mako-compute yung 60%? O syempre, pag-multiply na lang natin yung 400 times 60%. Masagot natin dyan 240,000. Therefore, 240,000 cost, no, yung i-include natin sa inventory. Okay? Kaya 240,000 and not the 400,000. Okay? So, burahin ko na class ha. Burahin ko na yung solution para mag-proceed tayo sa next item. Ayan. Finished goods in transit to customer ship FOB destination included, no, at cost 250,000. Next, finished goods out on approval at cost. No, included din yan. Okay, included. Example natin kanina dyan, no, yung mga business engaged in clothing. Yung mga boutique. Diba? Kanina kung napanood nyo yung ating um, discussion, no, dun sa legal test. Next, we have unsaleable. Unsaleable finished goods at cost. Unsaleable, hindi na daw maibebenta. I-include pa ba natin yan, class? Ang answer natin dyan ay excluded. Unsaleable na siya eh. Therefore, it defeats the definition of inventory held for sale. Hindi na siya mabebenta. Therefore, yan, hindi na siya considered as inventory. Kaya yan ay excluded. Next, materials in transit, ship, FOB shipping point. O yan, tayo ang buyer dito. Si Amazon Lily ang buyer. FOB shipping point. Therefore, sa atin yung 330,000 na yan. Okay, included. But take note, FOB shipping point siya. Therefore, the freight cost should be shouldered by the buyer. No, kasi siya yung buyer ang owner of goods in transit. And sabi dito, it excludes freight of 30,000. Hindi pa kasama sa 330,000. Therefore, kailangan nating include no, yung 30,000. Kaya yung amount na i-include natin dito, 360,000. 330 plus the freight cost, 30,000. Okay? I hope maliwanag ha. I hope maliwanag to class ha. Burahin ko lang ulit ha. Yan. Next, goods held on consignment. Goods held on consignment. Ay, teka, sorry. Wala. Yan, okay. Goods held on consignment, sales price. Sales price ay, teka, 200,000. Okay. Goods held on consignment. Therefore, si Amazon Lily, siya ang consignee sa transaction na to. Therefore, dahil siya ang consignee, lahat ng inventory na nanggaling sa consignor, hindi yan dapat isama. Okay. Selling price of goods out on consignment. So this time, si Amazon Lily na ang consignor, 50,000 pesos. Therefore, kailangan natin i-include yung goods out on consignment. But take note class, again, ang initial measurement ng inventory ay cost and the amount 50,000 is inclusive of 20% profit based on sales. Okay? Kaya shortcut na lang natin to class, no? Kanina kasi pinapakita natin yung breakdown ng selling price, cost, and profit. Ito medyo bilisan natin ang konti, no? Okay? To compute the cost, since based on sales yan, 50,000 times na lang natin ng rate, ng cost rate, which is 80%. Answer, 40,000 pesos. Kaya 40,000 na lang yung i-include natin as cost ng inventory. Okay, 40,000 pesos. Yan, 40,000 pesos. Okay, I hope clear. I hope maliwanag ha. Yan. Next item, freight paid on goods out on consignment. O ano kaya ang treatment natin doon, no? Kasi class, alam natin na ang inventories out on consignment, kay consignor yon. Inventory ni consignor. Paano kapag may freight cost involved? That is, meron kang na-incur na delivery cost para i-transfer yung inventory kay consignee. Anong accounting treatment doon? No? The 3,000 dito plus, this is included in the cost of goods consigned. Ha? Okay? Pasok yan doon sa definition ng direct attributable cost. Kanina, nung nag-discuss tayo ng direct attributable cost. Wherein, lahat ng cost na na-incur mo para makarating yung inventory to its present location and condition, dapat yon i-capitalize. And ganon din yung rationale, bakit kinakapitalize sa cost of goods consigned yung mga freight costs on goods out on consignment. Dahil siya ay direct attributable cost. Okay? I hope maliwanag, class ha. I hope maliwanag. No. And finally, last item, storage cost of goods completed. Siyempre, excluded yan. Storage cost of finished goods, hindi yon direct attributable cost. Okay, so finally na distinguish na natin dito kung sino yung kasama sa inventory at sino yung hindi. Therefore, we can calculate na the correct amount of inventory, and ang correct amount of inventory sa problem na to, 5,543,000. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa legal test of title na problem solving. So pag-usapan naman natin yung ilan sa mga items na frequently asked, no, in legal test of title. Number one, meron tayong may tinatawag tayo na product financing sales or sales with a buyback agreement. So basahin ko muna, no? According dito, the seller transfers its inventory in the buyer's premises through a sales contract, through a contract that specifies purchasing back the same inventory over a specified period at a specified amount. Okay? And accordingly, the inventory is included as part of inventory ng seller. So, para lang pasimplehin itong number one, no? Para lang siyang nagsasangla. No? Para ka lang bilang seller ng inventory, parang nagsasangla ka lang, no, sa pawn shop ng iyong inventory. Let's say, for example, no, ikaw ay may business tapos ang business mo ay kunyari you are engaged in selling mga jewelries, no, mga alahas, okay? Tapos no, you enter in a product financing sales agreement. So, parang ang mangyayari dyan, yung alahas, no, ita-transfer mo kay Cebuana Luwilier through a contract. Okay, meron kayong kontrata at nakalagay sa kontrata na ikaw na nag-transfer ng alahas, ipa-buyback mo or ipa-purchase mo ulit, no, yung alahas na yon. You purchase the same alahas over a specified period at a specified amount. So, kumbaga parang tutubusin mo lang by in substance, parang tutubusin mo lang ulit yung alahas na isinangla mo kay Cebuana. So, ganon yung product financing sales agreement. And kapag nag-undergo or kapag nag-enter ka ng product financing sales agreement with a buyer, the inventory is included pa rin sa iyo bilang seller. Okay? So, I hope maliwanag sa number one. And another item na na-encounter natin dito sa legal test of title is yung tinatawag natin installment sales. Okay? Na commonly present dito sa ating example, no? Motor trade, nagbebenta ng motorcycle na hulugan, no? Okay, and installment sales, goods should be considered sold or removed from the inventory even though the legal title has yet passed to the buyer. So, dito class sa example natin si Motor Trade na nagbebenta ng mga motor o ng installment basis or hulugan. So, ibig sabihin class, kapag si Motor Trade ay nakabenta ng motorcycle on an installment basis, motor trade should consider or should remove the motorcycle from its inventory. Kahit na yung legal title ay mapupunta pa lang kay buyer. No? So, ganun siya. No? Kapag installment sales, no? Kapag nabenta yan, um, tanggalin mo na no? Sa iyong inventory. Okay, it should be removed, it should be excluded from the inventory of the seller. Yan. Okay, so ayun, no? Next, we have consigned goods. Ayan, consigned goods. O napag-usapan natin to kanina class, no? Basahin ko lang ulit yung meaning ng consigned goods this time. A consignment is a method of marketing. O, di ba? Promotion technique pala tong consignment, no? A consignment is a method of marketing goods in which the owner called the consignor transfers inventory to an agent called consignee, wherein si consignee ibebenta niya ang inventory na yon on owner's behalf. That is on consignor's behalf. Ayan. Ipinabebenta mo lang bilang consignor kay consignee yung inventory. Okay? Ayan. Agent mo lang si consignee. Okay? Ano ang treatment natin sa consigned goods? Siyempre, kung ikaw ang consignor ng consigned goods, dapat included ito in its or included ito in your inventory. Okay? And freight and other handling costs are part of the cost of goods consigned. Ayan, I think na-encounter na rin ito sa problem kanina, no? Yung freight cost of goods out of consignment na ang ginawa natin is ginawa natin or isinama natin sa cost of inventory. Okay? Kumbaga, bakit siya sinasama? Again, considered ito as direct attributable cost. No? And syempre, kung ikaw naman ang consignee sa transaction, dapat hindi yan isama sa iyong inventory. So, ikaw ang consignee. Okay? So ayan, pakita ko lang yung summary ng consignor. So yeah, kung ikaw ang consignor, included. Otherwise, kung ikaw ang consignee, dapat excluded yan sa iyong inventory. Okay, so problem solving tayo class no ng ating consignment. Ayan, consignment. Ang question dito, how much inventory on consignment should CNP report on December 31, 20X1? So, basahin na natin yung problem. No? On December 31, 20X1, CNP Company consigned. O yan, nagpabenta si CNP Company ng 10 cellphone at a unit cost of 3,000 each no, to CU Company. Tapos si CU Company being a consignee, siya ang magbebenta ng mga phones na yon for 4,000 pesos. Okay? CNP paid 4,000 transportation cost no nung pinadala niya yung 10 phone kay CU no kay consign. On December 31, 20X1, CU reported the sale of 5 mobile phones. Ayan, so nagbenta siya ng 5 cellphone. Tapos yung 2 units binalik niya kay CNP. So nagsole si consignee to consignor ng 2 units ng cellphone. Okay? The consignee paid a cost of 800 pesos for the returned units. Okay? The amount due to the consignor was remitted on the same day. Yeah. Siyempre, kung naibenta yan ni consignee, yung napagbentahan or yung na-receive from the benta, dapat niyang i-remit yun no, kay consignee. Tapos, syempre, may commission. No? Commission rate as agreed upon was 15%. how much inventory on consignment should CNP report on December 31, 20 X month? Okay? So, compute na natin yung total cost ng consigned goods. No? Total cost, 10,000, oh sorry, 10,000. 10 units of cell phones times 3,000 equals 30,000. Tapos may transportation cost na 4,000. Okay? 4,000. Therefore, the total cost of goods consigned is 34,000. Pag kinompute natin yung unit cost of goods consigned, so 34,000 divided by 10 units equals 3,400. So 3,400 yung unit cost ng goods consigned. Okay? Tapos nung month of December, so ayan, nag-report na si consignee, no? Units consigned, nagsimula tayo sa 10. Okay? Pinadalhan natin si consignee ng 10. Tapos si consignee, sa 10 na yon, naibenta niya yung 5. Okay, naibenta niya yung 5. Tapos, si consignee nagsauli, no? Nagsauli ng 2 units to consignor. This is a return to consignor, ha? Not the sales return. Okay, ano yan? Consignee to consignor. Okay. Therefore, ang units consigned as of December 31 ay 3 na lang, no? 3 na lang yung hawak ni consignee. At dahil 3,400 per unit yung cost ng goods consigned, therefore, pag pinag-multiply lang natin yan sa 3 units times 3,400, ayan. Answer natin, 10,200. So, answer natin sa problem na to, 10,200. Okay, so I hope clear dito sa ating simple problem involving consignment. Involving consignment. Okay, so ayun class, no? Next topic natin, we have two systems of accounting for inventories. But tapusin muna natin tong session na to, no? So hanggang dito na lang muna yung ating part 1, no, ng ating review of inventories. So mag-start ulit tayo sa next video. Yun pa rin ang topic natin, pero dito na tayo magsisimula sa review of accounting systems or two systems of accounting for inventories. Okay?